this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder that Capital One Bank Guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also tell you about how Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bankguy. Capital One N.A., member FDIC.
Hey folks, owning a home means one thing. Something's gonna break. AC, plumbing, fridge, and it's never convenient or cheap. That's where American Home Shield comes in. An AHS Home warranty can help protect your wallet from pricey breakdowns on even your oldest appliances and systems. And if they can't repair the covered item, they'll replace it. So check out American Home Shield and get 20% off any plan at ahs.com/SYSK and see promo details. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including service fees, limitations, and exclusions. American Home Shield. Don't worry, be warranty.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark, and there's Charles W. Chuck Bryant, and Jerry's over there, so that makes this Stuff You Should Know.
Amazing Animal Edition.
Yes, a special request fulfilled Animal Edition.
Yeah, we should tell the story, huh?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's no way we can not tell the story because it's the cutest thing that's happened in a long time.
It really is. So we did a show in Vancouver on September something, right?
Yeah, in real time, it was last week for us. We usually don't turn stuff around this fast.
Right, exactly. And a lot of times we'll do Q&A after a show because we're like, the podcast isn't enough. We owe people more than that. So we'll do a Q&A, right?
That's right.
And the last question of the night was this cute little girl, just adorable. And her name was Mika, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And Mika had a special request, Chuck, and what was it?
Well, it kind of went down like this. Mika's dad walks her up to the microphone. Everyone turns their attention to this adorable 6-year-old. And in front of, what was it, like 1,000, 1,200 people, she said, "Can you do a podcast on giraffes?" And 1,200 hearts melted. Yep. And immediately, like afterward, you and I were like, well, we're doing this as soon as we get back.
Yeah, that's right. And this is where we're at. We did it.
Yeah. And you know what? It's, Mika, you are not alone because, giraffes are amazing, as you will see in greater detail. And you are not alone among your peers because I got to tell you, as the father of a 2-year-old daughter, and Jerry, as the mom of a 2-year-old, they're all obsessed with giraffes.
Yeah, it's true. Yumi and I started our niece Mila actually off on giraffes pretty early.
Yeah.
And like there's some of the most adorable stuffed animals or toys around too.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's understandable how it would stick in a kid's craw like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, they look nothing like things that they've seen, yet enough like things they've seen, I think, at that age to where they think, well, I've seen a horse or a horse or I've seen a zebra, but this is, I've seen a camel even, and those things look a little weird. But then a giraffe comes along and small minds are blown.
They are blown. So much that I suspect that there are giraffes in the little angel holding bay where babies stay before they come down here to Earth.
And yes, and when I say small minds, it's not to say children are small-minded.
No.
Like maybe literally small-minded, but not in the figurative adult sense.
Physiologically speaking.
There you go.
Right. So everybody knows what giraffes are. You can point to a picture of a giraffe and say, "What is this?" And the person will say, "It's a giraffe." It's a pretty common thing to do. Maybe arguably the best Charlie Harper illustration of all time is the mother and baby giraffe snuggling.
I don't know what that is.
Look it up. I'll send it to you. You're going to love it. It's just adorable. So everyone's quite familiar with giraffes, but giraffes are one of those animals that we found from our research are just taken for granted.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, look at those things. They're amazing. But let's just leave it at that, apparently. It was how science approached giraffes for millennia, basically.
Yeah. In fact, these evolutionary wonders, and boy, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like in every sense of the word. For many, many millennia, human dum-dums referred to these animals as camel leopards.
Right. With a tidy little hyphen in between the two to really show that they had clearly a camel and a leopard had gotten it on at some point.
Right.
And created the giraffe.
Yeah, which, I mean, it makes a little bit of sense. They are sort of camel-like with their necks and their kind of long legs and hooves.
Mm-hmm.
But then also you look at a giraffe's coat and that amazing leopard-like pattern. So it sort of makes sense that human dum-dums would say stuff like that.
Right, because they didn't understand evolution. And even like Mr. Evolution himself, Charles Darwin, was like, I'm not even getting into the giraffe for a while, right?
The giraffe debate.
Yeah. So he started wading into where the giraffe got its neck, because by the time Darwin came along, they had said, okay, they're not camel leopards. We know that much. All right. Everybody stop making fun of us.
Right. But also let's give it a scientific name, Giraffa camelopardalis.
Yeah. Which is a nod to the dum-dums of yore.
That's right.
Right. So by the time Darwin got in on this, he had written on the origin of the species. But it was the 6th edition before the giraffe makes an appearance in it.
Yeah, I'm sure Mika has already read that.
Sure. That's why she was asking. She was hoping we could expound on that.
That's right.
So, Darwin suggested that potentially the giraffe's neck evolved because in times of drought or famine, where other animals were starving and dropping like flies, the giraffe's neck gave it an advantage to reach leaves on trees that other animals couldn't. So it was quite literally rising above the competition, natural selection wise, right?
Yeah, and that's got to be it, right?
Well, one of the issues that's raised against it is that giraffes still feed at the same level as other animals, like a pretty significant amount of the time.
Well, they're just greedy.
I guess so. They're like, some for me, and I'll have some of yours too.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any other reason. It makes complete sense.
Well, there's another guy, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, who was pretty credible as far as old-timey scientists go. And Lamarck said, I think they're an antelope that just stretched its neck further and further and further.
Yeah.
And he lost all credibility.
Yeah, I think so.
But they're not entirely certain what precisely it is that gave the giraffe its neck. Because you don't see that elsewhere in nature. It's not an adaptation that is pretty common, like eyes or hearing or flight. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. But there are some other long neck animals like swans or something like that. But giraffes are mammals. And aside from that really long neck and a couple of other things that they've had to, change, or adapt to because of their long neck and other features, they're nothing like other long necked animals.
Yeah, that's right. And the long neck club, they stand alone.
Exactly.
All right. So let's start with classification and taxonomy and that kind of thing, because that sort of lays the groundwork for what we're talking about here.
Right.
Technically speaking, giraffes are what you would call an even-toed ungulate, which is kind of a fancy way of saying they have just 2 weight-bearing hooves on each foot, like a camel. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Not a leopard, though.
No. A leopard with hooves would not be much of a leopard. Let's be honest. And they are in an order called Artiodactyla. And that does include the antelope, to be fair, but also includes things like sheep and moose and hippos.
Cows,
pigs, a little weirdly, but maybe not, because they have the little hooves.
Sure.
What else?
Well, their family is Giraffidae. And in the Giraffidae family, there's 2 genera, right?
Yes.
There's the Giraffa genus and the Okapia genus. And they split, they think now, about 11 million years ago. And still today, you can walk around in Africa and find the okapi, but the okapi looks way more like it's related to a horse or a zebra than it does to a giraffe, right?
Yeah, did you see those things?
Yeah, I've seen them before. They're pretty neat. They're like chocolate colored with like zebra striped legs.
Yeah, it literally looks like it's an animal that said, I don't know what I want to be. I like you guys. I like you guys. So I really would just like to sort of be both of you.
Right. It's a social butterfly.
Yeah, it's a very pretty animal.
And then over in the giraffe genus, there's basically one species as far as anyone's concerned. So like any giraffe you ever see, even if it looks different from all the other giraffes you see, it was the species Giraffa camelopardalis, like you said, right?
Yes.
But there's a 2016 study that was carried out by the Giraffe Conservation Foundation, and it was published in the journal Current Biology. And they said, you know, all these little subspecies that we've been saying are actually the same species of giraffes, there's just variations. They're actually different species. There's 4 giraffe species.
Yeah, but that's not that study was just last year, and now they're saying that that's not the case. So,
is that right?
Well, isn't that what it says? It said,
well, I think it's more like the wheels of biological science as an academic field moves slowly.
Okay.
So their findings are supposedly legitimate.
But they're just not saying, they didn't put the stamp of authenticity on it.
Not yet.
Okay.
They probably will in the future, but they're like, just give us some time. We just made some tea.
As scientists are one to do.
Sure.
So you want to take a break?
Oh, sure.
All right. We'll take a break and crane our necks up and get some food to sustain ourselves, and then talk a little bit about these awesome necks right after this.
Hey everybody, we're here to talk to you about Wayfair, who believes that spaces should be functional, they should be comfortable, they should be well designed, and they can be well designed by you with their help.
Your updated space should feel more comfortable, inviting, and practical for everyday use. And we're talking about outdoor seating. We're talking about grills. We're talking about major appliances. If you need storage solutions, Wayfair can help you out. Patio lighting, rugs, decor. It is your one-stop shop for home.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting nice out, so it's time to think about living outdoors for the next few months. And Wayfair knows that outdoor furniture, it's heavy, it's intimidating to assemble. So Wayfair has stepped in and said, we're going to handle the hard part so you don't have to.
That's right. You can shop Wayfair Verified, your shortcut to the good stuff. And that means their team of product specialists are going to vet everything by hand using a 10-point inspection, testing things like, quality materials, functionality, and features, and even how long it takes to build that piece of furniture. And the overall experience save time, reduce hassle, and improved convenience.
Patio season is here, and these deals won't last. So head to wayfair.com right now to get your outdoor space ready for way less. That's WAYFAIR.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You might know Michelin for its tires, or maybe even its stars, but there's so much more to the story. Michelin isn't just a tire company, it's an innovation company. From connected mobility solutions to high-tech materials, innovation fuels everything Michelin does.
That's right. And in 2025, Michelin was recognized as a most innovative company in automotive by Fast Company. It's all part of a big picture vision Michelin calls Michelin in Motion, putting a vision of innovation at the heart of everything it does.
Yeah, and get this, Michelin's going way beyond tires. Michelin isn't just making better tires, they're helping build a better future. Why this innovation matters? Well, Michelin is taking on one of the toughest mobility challenges out there, space. Michelin is developing an airless wheel for lunar exploration.
Wow.
The Michelin Lunar Airless Wheel was named Concept of the Year, recognizing Michelin's technological expertise in the most extreme environments at the 2026 Tire Technology Expo.
That's right, and you can learn more at www.michelinman.com/y-Michelin/innovation.
Okay, Chuck. So there was not a lot of study in the field of giraffes. Everybody was just like, that's neat. Giraffes are cool. Let's just leave it at that. Especially in the field specifically, like out in their natural habitat, they weren't studied. Killed by poachers, but not necessarily studied, right?
Yeah.
So most of the understanding we had of giraffes was of captive giraffes that were being held hostage in zoos, right?
Mm-hmm.
But from those, we got like a pretty decent amount of at least anatomical understanding of them.
Yeah, and I mean, you just have to add this to the list of the jellyfish and the octopus. Bats? What else are we forgetting?
Oh man, there's one other one that we did. We did one recently. I guess frogs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like
all animals.
Yeah, any animal we cover, we find fascinating. You notice we haven't done one on the common house cat.
No.
We probably should though, because I'm a cat lover.
I feel like that would be like doing an episode on gamers. Like just inviting trouble, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, I love cats. Of course I do. But I just don't know that it's like in the same category as an octopus.
Right.
When it comes to amazement and astonishment.
That's true.
You know?
Although we did speak about them for a while in what was it? Domestic animals episode?
Did we?
Yeah, I think so.
We spoke on, and of course, toxoplasmosis.
Oh, yeah.
Reared its ugly head.
Yeah.
All right. Mika's like, get back to it, guys. I don't really care about that stuff.
Like I hate cats.
So they are the tallest living animal in the world. And it says in here, and this has kind of reminded me of something, that a giraffe can look in a second-story window.
Yeah.
And I just saw recently, I had no idea this existed, but Giraffe Manor in Nairobi.
Mm-hmm.
This is a hotel, and it is it's a, what do you call it? They work with conservation, but
an eco lodge?
Well, I guess it's that too, but it's I can't think of the right name. But what it is, it's a hotel, and they work to help giraffes that are in trouble and help to reintroduce troubled giraffes into the wild.
It's like a home for juvenile delinquent giraffes.
Yeah, and like a rehabilitation center. And I just saw this for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and there are pictures of people dining and eating in a second-story window, and giraffes sticking their heads right through them and eating fruit off a plate, and people just thinking, I'm getting cheated out on my breakfast, and it's the best time I can remember that happening.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, and now I want to, I think Emily and I are going to try and go on a safari.
So
we're dying to go on a safari. I just need to find out a good one that's like ecologically sound, and I don't know anything about safari, so I don't know if they're like bad or they're good, or if there are good ones and bad ones, but I'm gonna check it out, and we're definitely gonna go stay in that hotel.
The first question I think you want to ask of a safari operator is, do you use cattle prods?
Yeah.
That's a big
stuff
one.
Like that?
Oh, I'm sure some people do for sure.
Yeah. And hey, if anyone knows of like a really sustainable, well done safari, let me know.
Sure.
We're in the market.
So, what is it called? Giraffe Manor?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they can, they are just super tall. And the reason why they're super tall there's two reasons. One is obviously their neck. Their neck alone is like 6 feet long, right?
Yes.
And there are other long-necked animals out there in nature, like swans. But giraffes are mammals, and they have the same number of cervical vertebrae that other mammals do. They're just really big cervical vertebrae, right? So each vertebra of a giraffe's neck is about 11 inches in length.
That's crazy.
And there's 7 of them, and you put them all together, and you got about a 6-foot long neck.
Yes.
But they also have really long legs too that are also about 6 feet long.
Yeah. So 6 foot long legs, 6 foot long neck.
Right.
And you have giraffes, female, because they still have other body parts. Females can grow up to 14 feet, weigh about 1,500 pounds, and males can grow up to 18 feet tall and weigh about 3,000 pounds.
Yeah, for males, it's like 5.5 meters tall and 1,360 kilograms. So
That's
they're big.
Amazing.
They're big animals, but they're also known as like gentle giants too. Like they're not very violent animals, as we'll see.
True. Although, if you're into the sweet giraffe, do not look up videos of male giraffes fighting.
I know it's disturbing to watch.
It is very disturbing, and you just want to think like, oh man, you guys should just always like each other.
Yeah, like, why do friends fight?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So part of being tall like this, it presents some amazing evolutionary traits and some challenges that thankfully the giraffe has overcome. They have let's talk about their nerve cells. If you've got a neck that long, everything is just stretched out. So for instance, their recurrent, laryngeal nerve, which this activates their larynx, helps them in swallowing, because they're going to need a little help swallowing down that long neck. That thing is 15 feet long in itself, because it starts in the brain, goes down the neck, and then loops back up to the throat.
Right. And we have one of those too, and it's actually pointed to as proof that it's evolution, not creation, that accounts for us, because it's just such a poor workaround.
Yeah.
But it's 15 feet long in giraffes.
Crazy.
Right. So since it's a nerve fiber, nerve fibers are made of bundled nerve cells. So that means that if you separated these things, it'd be made up of 15-foot long cells.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It really is.
So, is that your fact of the show?
There's about 50 of those in here, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So if you've ever been to a wildlife refuge, that's the word I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
Or a zoo, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen a giraffe up close and personal, the one thing that you will notice, and some zoos will even have times of day where you can feed the giraffes, which is pretty amazing. But the first thing you'll probably notice, aside from their neck when they get up face to face, aside from their friendly eyes, is the size of their tongue when they go licking stuff. And they have a very active tongue. That thing's always moving around, it seems like. But these tongues are almost 2 feet long. They can be 21 inches in length.
Yes. And not only are they long, they're also prehensile. They have the ability to grasp things, as we'll see later, right?
That's right.
So they have enormous tongues. They have feet that are about a foot across, about a third of a meter across, right? And their hearts, Chuck.
I think this might be the fact of the show for me.
Well, then take it.
Well, their hearts, if you talk about a giraffe as a big-hearted animal, you can say that in every sense of the word, because the heart of a giraffe is 2 feet long and weighs about 25 pounds, which, Mika, for you, that's 11 kilograms.
That's right. So they have this huge heart. And you're like, well, of course they have a huge heart, you dummy. It's a huge animal.
Yeah.
That's true, but prepare for this. If you did, based on body mass, proportionately, a giraffe's organs, like its heart or its lungs that can take in an enormous amount of air at one time.
12 gallons.
Right. They're average.
Yeah.
They're just about average in size, right? Mm-hmm. So the giraffe is actually faced with a couple of issues here, right?
Sure.
If its heart is proportionately speaking normal size, but its neck is way longer than other mammals, it has an issue. And its legs are way longer than other animals. It has a secondary issue, right? So you would think, well, it needs a huge heart. And its heart is not proportionately up to the task. So there's been other adaptations that the giraffe underwent over time to allow for it to not, say, faint when it suddenly lifts its head up after drinking water, or for blood not to collect and pool in its legs.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So the way this works is the heart of a giraffe is really, really thick. So it has a very thick wall, and so that means it can pump blood at a super high pressure, about 5 times that of a human heart.
Yeah.
So that sort of solves that problem. It gets blood going where it needs to go as effectively as possible. And then they have a really tough coat and a tough hide. And the way this article put it is it sort of acts like a compression sock, but around the whole body. So that basically just helps the blood counteract the gravity of pumping all the way up that long neck to the brain.
Right, exactly. It keeps it from just it keeps it also from collecting or pooling in places it shouldn't. It just keeps everything running smoothly.
Yeah, like those big feet.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting stuff, right?
Agreed.
And you were talking about the coat as well. One thing I saw in research is that the giraffe's coat is unique to the individual, like our fingerprints or iris print is.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't really thought about, which makes total sense, you know. Giraffes are all unique individual little flowers.
Snowflakes, if you will.
Sure.
Just good, giant, liberal mammals.
Right.
Mika, you can ask your dad about that joke.
Yeah.
So when you look at a giraffe, you might think like, well, yeah, giraffes, they all just sort of have maybe it's unique, but the patterns are all basically the same. Not exactly true. Depending on where the giraffe lives and what they eat, they're going to have a different sort of pattern going on, and then each one is unique unto itself.
Right.
So in Kenya, I'm going to call it a Maasai giraffe.
Mm-hmm.
They have the pattern that look like the oak leaves. Very, very pretty pattern.
Right. And then there's Uganda giraffes. They have like big, large brown splotches with lines, like lighter brown lines separating the splotches. Like a giraffe. That's the one you think of, or I think of when I think giraffes.
I think of all of them as giraffes.
Sure.
Then there's the reticulated giraffe, and this is only in northern Kenya, evidently. Mm-hmm. These have the darker coat, and it looks like really narrow white lines all over the place. But with all these, it's kind of like, what are you looking at? Are you looking at the spots or the lines in between?
Sure, yeah, it's like an optical illusion.
Yeah.
And the whole reason that the giraffe's hide or coat looks like that is because it's camouflage. Like, they're so big, there's really no way for them to hide anywhere, so they hide in plain sight by blending in with the trees that they eat.
That's right.
There is also, Chuck, I don't know if you saw this or not, but in Kenya, again, at the Ishak Bini Hirola Conservancy,
Mm-hmm.
they found 2 all-white giraffes, head to toe, white.
I think I've seen those.
Yeah, I think they kind of became like an internet hit recently.
Yeah.
And they say that they're not albino giraffes. There's like a lesser condition called leucism, which really just kind of affects the skin and hair and coat, but not like, say, the eyes or anything like that.
Oh, wow.
But it's really cute. It's a mom and her baby, and you know, they're being watched probably more than other giraffes. So the mom's kind of like, you stay here behind the bushes, okay? I'm going to handle the photographs. But it's just cute to watch them. Like, I love watching giraffes at all times.
At all times?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have giraffe cam?
I'm watching some right now.
So giraffe, are they outside of our studio?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. How wonderful would that be?
You can't see them. They're looking over your shoulder right now.
I know. I have my back to the door. So giraffes live in what are called savannas through sub-Saharan Africa, and the weather there is semi-arid. They like woodlands that are sort of open, that have smatterings of trees and bushes, and that's really kind of the best habitat for giraffes.
Right. And lastly, Chuck, their eyes, right? You said that their eyes are adorable, and that's largely because of their wonderful eyelashes.
Mm-hmm.
But they also have really large eyes, and maybe among the better vision of any land animals. Their peripheral vision is so good they can almost see behind them.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And they can see in color. They can see a long, long way in front of them. And like you said, those wide angle lens eyeballs, and they're huge, is really handy because giraffes, basically lions see giraffes and they think, all right, I know no one likes to see this kind of thing on television or on nature shows, but we have to eat too. And they make for good eating if you're a lion or, let's say, a crocodile.
Right. And that's aside from humans, that's basically it. Hyenas prey on giraffe calves, but they don't have that many predators.
Yeah, well, which is great because we need more giraffes.
Yeah, and they also don't have a lot of recourse against predators. They can kick, as we'll see, but they there's not a lot they can do besides run away. But even when they run, despite their lungs being so big, they don't oxygenate their bodies well enough that they can run for very long distances. So they can run fast in short bursts, but being camouflaged and being so huge and high off the ground that their predators can't actually reach them easily, that's really how they survive.
Should we take another break?
Yeah, let's take one.
All right, we'll be right back.
You might know Michelin for its tires, or maybe even its stars, but there's so much more to the story. Michelin isn't just a tire company, it's an innovation company. From connected mobility solutions to high-tech materials, innovation fuels everything Michelin does.
That's right. And in 2025, Michelin was recognized as a most innovative company in automotive by Fast Company. It's all part of a big picture vision Michelin calls Michelin in Motion, putting a vision of innovation at the heart of everything it does.
Yeah, and get this, Michelin's going way beyond tires. Michelin isn't just making better tires, they're helping build a better future. Why this innovation matters? Well, Michelin is taking on one of the toughest mobility challenges out there, space. Michelin is developing an airless wheel for lunar exploration.
Wow.
The Michelin Lunar Airless Wheel was named Concept of the Year, recognizing Michelin's technological expertise in the most extreme environments at the 2026 Tire Technology Expo.
That's right, and you can learn more at www.michelinman.com/y-Michelin/innovation. So you're considering getting a home security system, but you want something that fits your space. Well, with ADT Blue, it's easy to customize a system that's right for you and set it up yourself. Just pick the kit and monitoring system that makes sense for your home.
Yeah, well, let's say you're worried about package theft right off your front porch. The ADT Plus app can walk you through setting up a new doorbell camera kit. Once it's installed, ADT Pros can help you keep tabs on it 24/7, or you can manage it yourself from the ADT Plus app.
That's right. There are no long-term contracts, so you can change your monitoring plan whenever you want. The flexibility doesn't end there either. You can add to your system as you need with things like extra cameras or motion sensors.
Some life decisions are hard, but thanks to ADT Blue, you can get DIY trusted ADT home security in a snap. Head to ADT.com/BLU to build your system today. And to find out more about home protection, check out a new episode of Grown Up Stuff with security expert Joe Mazza out on June 9th.
All right, so you were talking about giraffes running fast. They can run about 35 miles an hour for our Canadian friends, and certainly for Mika, that's 56 kilometers.
Yep.
And we don't often do those conversions anymore.
Well, we don't usually have an episode requested by a cute little Canadian.
That's correct. Although you could make the argument that all Canadians are cute.
Sure.
Right?
Nice at the very least.
So, have you ever seen a giraffe run in person?
I don't know that I have. You know that thing when you start to get older, Chuck, where your brain has been around long enough that it can just make up memories and you don't know if you actually experienced it or if your brain's like, this is what that person just asked would look like. So just go ahead and say yes. That's what I just did. I'm not sure if I have or not, but at the very least I've seen it on TV and can imagine it.
Right. So I know we did an episode on zoos and whether or not zoos are good or bad, and I sort of still haven't completely made up my mind on zoos, but
I have.
I know you have. You're on record. But I went to the San Diego Zoo when we did a tour show there a couple of years ago, and they have a giraffe habitat, very nice one, and they had some giraffes walking around doing cute stuff, and then one of them out of nowhere took off and started running, and it was the most graceful thing I've probably ever seen in nature that didn't involve wings and flying.
Oh, wow.
It was unbelievable. Like, you can look it up on YouTube, giraffes running, but
so like banjo music wouldn't have been appropriate?
No.
No?
No. It's just, they just sort of glide, man, and they're so big and their necks are going forward and backward, kind of like they're cranking it out with their neck. And then their legs, it almost seems like they're not touching the ground. It's not like it's a gallop, but it's hard to explain. Like, when you see a horse gallop, you feel like they're grabbing that ground, and it's very just strong looking. But a giraffe just sort of glides. It's for such a big animal, and that might have something to do with the optics of it. But it's just something to see. Well,
the way that they move their legs is kind of peculiar as well. I think when they're running, it's front legs and then back legs and front legs and then back legs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But then when they're moving along at a slower speed, they're moving like right side legs, left side legs. Right side legs, left side legs.
Oh, really?
So it's not like one at a time or it's a bizarre way to walk around.
Interesting.
Yet another amazing thing about giraffes.
All right, so one of our favorite things are groups of animals, names of groups of animals, like, a murder of crows and where they get these crazy names. And giraffes, I never knew until today, a group of giraffes is called a tower.
I didn't know that either.
Really neat.
So giraffes, it's long been known they're social animals. They live in packs, but again,
they live in towers.
They live in towers. I'm sorry. They since they weren't really studied out in the field, everything that they noticed about giraffe sociality was basically in zoos, and that's an artificial habitat, right? Mm-hmm. So they didn't get to see the real giraffes. But now that they've really started to study them out in the field, like systematically and really scientifically, they're finding that giraffes are like even more social than they thought.
Yeah, and they're also sort of like a liberal hippie commune.
Right.
A tower can have 10 to 20 members, but it's not like a lot of pecks or murders or gaggles where you have the women and the children are here and the men do this. It's sort of anything goes. There can be mixed genders. They can be young and old. Members can come and go as they please. They don't necessarily stick together for life. It just seems like it's sort of a loose arrangement where giraffes will be like, all right, well, I'm cool to hang out with you guys for a little while.
Right, exactly. And the other thing that struck me too was that giraffe towers don't have territories, which I can't think of any other mammals off the top of my head that don't protect their turf.
Yeah.
So apparently when giraffes do fight, male giraffes do fight, it's strictly over access to the ladies.
Oh, well.
But that's it. It's not like, hey, get out of here. This is my acacia tree.
Right.
You know?
True.
I just think that's neat. There's no territories. It's like, go wherever you want, man.
Yeah. Very chill. This is one of the other big facts of the show for me. So giraffes, one of their evolutionary adaptations is because they are so vulnerable to attack because they eat 16 to 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
And they're just hanging out, eating, trying to all get along. Lions are nearby. So they don't sleep for hours at a time because they're so vulnerable to attack. So they sleep. They only sleep about 5 to 30 minutes a day.
Yep.
In a 24-hour period. And sometimes those are like, all right, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to take a 1-minute nap, standing up.
Right.
Or maybe, boy, I'm super tired. I need to lay down for 6 minutes. And so just Google a picture of giraffe sleeping on the ground and you will see a giraffe curled up with its long neck kind of craning back towards its rump with his little head on its butt.
Like a swan.
Yeah, it's just adorable.
Yeah. Momo, my dog, she takes naps like a giraffe with her head up, or like a really old person.
Uh-huh.
Or she starts to nod off and then lifts her head up. It's cute to see.
Yeah, so, a giraffe basically has to stay awake to keep an eye out for predators. And they don't have a voice either. They're one of the quietest mammals in nature.
Yeah, a lot of people think, or thought for a very long time that giraffes just didn't make sounds because it's so rare to hear them make a sound. But again, further studies found that they do make sounds. They just very infrequently do. And they also think that potentially giraffes communicate to one another over long distances at subsonic frequencies that humans just can't hear.
Right.
So they may be, humming. And there's actually, there's a recording of a giraffe humming to itself in the dark in a zoo.
Wow.
It's really sweet to hear, but if you think of a giraffe by itself in the dark in a zoo and it's humming, it makes you wonder why it's humming like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're around a giraffe, what you might hear, if you're lucky, is like a snort or maybe a hiss or a grunt. Probably won't hear any roaring or mooing, although they can do that. But the idea I've got is that they just don't care to talk to people much. Yeah.
So, one thing with the snort in particular, if you do hear a giraffe snort, it means that it's spooked and it's saying, oh my gosh, basically, as it's running away. But it's also alerting its fellow giraffes as well. And apparently giraffes are easily spooked enough that they're kind of like an early warning signal for the other animals on the savannah.
Yeah.
That they've spotted a lion. So they're easily spooked, but they also can see really, really well over very long distances. And because of that height advantage, they can see even further. So if a giraffe starts running, the other animals are like, I'm out too.
Well, yeah, and not only that, and this is so cool. I love it when animals work together like that, but it goes even deeper. If you look up tick bird on giraffe, just Google that stuff. you're going to see a giraffe hanging out with these little birds all over its back and neck. And they're buddies. They have a symbiotic relationship. And what happens is the tick bird, or it's called an oxpecker because they do this on other animals as well. Mm-hmm. But they basically sit on top of these animals and they eat bugs in the coat. They kind of pick their nits and they warn the giraffe. Like they might see a lion and make their noise. I don't know what it sounds like. All right, they'll do that. And then the giraffe in turn snorts and takes off. So in a sense, the tick bird is sort of warning everyone on the savannah that the lion is coming around. Poor lions. They get such a bad rap.
Yeah.
But they got to eat, you know?
No, it's just true.
It's just one of those things.
It's the circle of life.
It is. Nobody likes seeing a lion chowing down on an antelope or running after a family of antelopes.
Right. They like to see lions and alligators or crocodiles fight each other.
Yeah, because then it's a fair fight.
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
But we did talk about the giraffes fighting each other for the ladies, and they do this with those ossicones. You know, when you look, I guess you might want to call them horns, but they're called ossicones. The two, and it's not always two. Don't they have more than that sometimes?
So no, they'll have two ossicones, but then they get these calcium deposits to protect against the headbutts, and it looks like they have more horns.
Like you're kind of showing off at that point.
Yeah, you really went a little far with the horns, man. Yeah. So they, as the giraffe matures too, like they'll have that little kind of tufted patch of hair at the top, and that starts to fade a little bit as it's replaced by the calcium deposits.
Yeah.
The neck gets strong and upright and everything. And apparently young giraffes become, young male giraffes become young men like giraffes.
Yeah.
As they're growing up by emulating the giraffes that they see in real life.
Yeah.
And they'll act like they're tough or whatever and go like, pull the girl's hair or something like that. And then when they're the actual like adult male giraffes, the bulls are what they called, come around, the kids just suddenly just go back to being little kids. Like nothing. I wasn't doing anything. But they almost practice at first by emulating their grown-ups.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Like you said, the males are called bulls. The females are called cows. Calves are what they have when they make a little baby.
Right.
And when they mate, the cow has a gestation period of about 14 months. And then, you can look up on YouTube and see a video of a calf being born.
Yeah.
And it is something else to see because a 6 foot tall, 150 pound giraffe, which is tiny by their standards, will kind of be pooped out of the back of the mom giraffe while the mom's just standing there. It'll flump and fall on the ground like a little lump, which is all cute and sort of amazing looking. And then like a bunch of really other gross stuff comes out.
Right.
That's what you need to be just aware of if you watch this video. You can just stop it there is what I would recommend. But there's a lot of afterbirth.
There's one thing when you're a young giraffe is don't look up.
Yeah.
Never look up.
Yeah, and while you're on YouTube, go look at baby giraffe learning to stand and walk because it's amazing. They do it really quickly, about an hour later. But as with any mammal's first steps, it's one of the most adorable things you can witness.
It's a little shaky.
Little shaky.
Yeah, but instead of taking months or however long it takes for human babies to learn to walk, like an hour is all it takes. And one reason, probably the reason why giraffes can walk that quickly after being born is because they are huge targets for predators out on the savannah.
Yeah, it's like super sad. Only about 1 in 4 infant giraffes survive that first year.
Yeah.
Oof.
Which is that's a big milestone in a giraffe's life.
I would say so.
Cause you made it to your first year. And after that, you're starting to grow to the point where I think by age 3 to 6, they're fully mature.
Yeah.
So if you make it to your first year, you're going to be able to survive probably longer and longer. Your chances of survival increase tremendously just because of the size you're getting to.
Yeah.
But making it to that first year is very tough. And it's at that first year also that they wean. I think they nurse for like the first year and then start eating leaves after that.
Yeah. And, so for many years, they thought that, mama giraffes might be a little cold hearted because a lot of times they would see the mama giraffe leave the calf behind for this very vulnerable young calf for extended periods. But what they now think, thankfully, is that the mama giraffes are they're not neglected at all. They're really social, and they're going out to look for food and stuff. And the job of the baby calf is to just lay down, sometimes for a whole day, and be as quiet as possible until mama returns, and mama will return.
Right. But that seems to me that's probably one of the reasons why the mortality rate is so high among giraffe calves, is that they're tiny, their mothers leave them, and they just are expected to lay there quietly on the savannah until they return a day later.
Yeah, but they do. Like the only other thing they could do is walk around with mom, which makes them more vulnerable.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
You know?
Yeah.
So the mama basically says, you hide here, be quiet. I know you want to run and play, and you might want to snort, but there's bad things out there.
Yeah.
They're hungry lions, and so I'll be back. Trust me. Yep.
So, they, like you said, they do come back, but because of that, I think you said the scientists for a long time thought, what's wrong with giraffe moms? They're the worst of the worst,
yeah.
Right? But they have found, again, through a recent study, that no, giraffes actually seem to demonstrate grief, like prolonged grief even, when they lose a calf. And there was one mother giraffe who lost a calf to a predator and stayed at that spot for 4 days.
Ugh.
And didn't eat anything, and was actually consoled, it appeared, by two other female giraffes who were friends.
Yeah.
So they are not neglectful, cold-hearted. They're not like Joan Crawford's of the animal kingdom.
No, I told Emily that fact this morning, and she literally started crying. So
I'll bet.
All right. So we mentioned that they eat plants. That is exclusively. Giraffes are herbivores, Mika. So that means they only eat plants. They don't eat meat. Mm-hmm. And what they really like to chow down on, they eat seeds, they eat fruits and branches and things. What they really love are mimosa trees, and especially acacia trees. Mm-hmm. That is what their main meals consist of.
Right. And again, they kind of look like these things that they're eating, at least in their camouflage pattern. And because their tongue is prehensile, meaning it can go grasp stuff, right? Mm-hmm. They are able to kind of circumnavigate like the thorns that are part of acacia trees and mimosa trees, and just kind of pluck these great leaves without getting stuck by the thorns.
Yeah.
And their lips are also prehensile too. So it's like on their face, around their mouth, they have two hands.
Yeah.
That are just going to town, sorting through these trees and eating the leaves off of them.
Yeah, I think that's why when you see a giraffe, they have so much personality. It's because that mouth.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Also, those eyelashes are not hurting things at all.
No, it's very, very expressive.
Yeah.
So for their size, they eat hundreds of pounds of leaves a week, which you think man, that's a lot of leaves. But for their size, they have that's not a lot of food. They have a very efficient internal system. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they can live on as little as 15 pounds of foliage per day, which isn't a lot of food for an animal that can weigh up to 1,500 pounds.
Right. Yeah. It's like 7 kilograms for our Canadian friends.
That's right.
Or the rest of the world, except for Liberia.
What's the deal with the cud?
So they're ruminants, right? Like a cow. And that means that they eat their leaves or flowers or whatever they're eating, and then it passes through 4 different chambers of their stomach, and then it comes all the way back up through their stomach, mm-hmm. all the way back up their neck into their mouth. Basically, they throw up the leaves that have now been turned into cud, and then they chew on that some more and then swallow it again. That makes them a ruminant.
That's
and
right.
Actually, I believe it makes them kosher as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw that somewhere.
Huh.
It does not mean that you should go eat giraffes, though.
No. Ugh, what's wrong with people? And then finally, their wonderful adaptation, that I think is one of the best is, because they're out there in the dry sub-Saharan Africa, there's not a ton of water around. Mm-hmm. And certainly a giraffe, leaning down and drinking water could be very vulnerable, especially to a crocodile. Mm-hmm. They can go weeks at a time without drinking, and they get most of their water and the moisture that they need to survive from those plants that they're eating.
Yeah, it's pretty astounding.
Amazing.
So, because they're doing all of this, this eating of treetops and all of that, and not just the treetops, but just about anywhere on the tree, they'll eat from it. They're actually doing a lot of other things too. And usually herbivores, they play some pretty good role in their ecosystem, but giraffes seem to be like really integral to their ecosystems as well, just because of their really long neck and they're reaching places that other animals can't reach. So they have a big impact on the ecosystem as far as keeping it like healthy and running smoothly, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of like bringing a wildlife management pruning system in there.
Right.
That's, 15, 18 feet tall. And while they're eating, they're distributing seeds all over the place.
Pooping?
Yeah, pooping out those seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So they can serve as pollinators even.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
The little acacia tree seeds go, thanks a lot for the ride.
That's right. As far as their conservation status, they're not endangered, which is good news.
Yeah, but are they not? I mean, just think about this.
I know. Over the past 15 years, they've declined by 40% to around 80,000 from 140,000, which is a troubling number to me for sure. I just don't know exactly what it takes to become endangered.
I don't either. But most of that loss of the giraffes, 15 years, they lost maybe 60,000 out of 140,000 giraffes are gone now.
Yeah.
Mostly due to poachers.
Boo.
Or, boo. Maybe boos of all boos go to the poachers.
Yeah.
And then their ecosystem, their habitat is being lost because trees are being cut down for everything from developments to, cropland.
Boo again.
And if they don't have we kind of do need cropland, but yes, agreed. When it affects giraffes like that, boo. But even beyond that, apparently the giraffe's tail is used for all sorts of stupid stuff. Frankly, you don't need to kill a giraffe for. You can just, if you really need the tail hair, just cut the tail off. Like if you're going to do that, at least don't kill the giraffe first. Maybe sedate it and surgically remove it or something, but jeez.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go that far.
Well, sure, right. Just don't remove the tail.
Yeah, you can make a fly whisk or a bracelet out of something else.
Exactly,
but as I'm concerned,
that's what they use them for: bracelets and fly whisks.
And because of all this bad stuff, Mika, you will be glad to know that June 21st has been declared World Giraffe Day. It is the longest day of the year, and they have awarded that day to the tallest animal. So now there's a lot of awareness going on and efforts underway and a lot more studying than has ever been done before to help preserve the future success of the giraffe.
Yep.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Oh, and I also want to go on record. Yes, we realize that flies spread disease in Africa and that fly whisks are actually pretty valuable.
Oh, yeah.
Like Chuck said, you can make fly whisks out of other stuff, and maybe it's incumbent upon some of us here in the West to make sure that the people who need the fly whisks in Africa get the synthetic ones so that the giraffes are left out of the loop there. How about that?
I think that sounds great.
So, you got anything else right now?
I have nothing else.
All right. Well, there's giraffes. Mika, thanks for the idea. And since I said thanks, it's time for Chuck.
Yes, that is correct. Administrative details. Okay, everyone, administrative details. If you are new to the show, it is a segment wherein we thank listeners for the really neat, wonderful things that they send us. That's one of the great things about doing what we do is people are kind-hearted and loving and will send us stuff.
Agreed. So let's start, Chuck.
All right. First on the list, because we forgot him last time, our old buddy Greg Storkin, who came to see us in Denver, Colorado, right?
I think so, yeah.
And he sent us some whiskey. And Greg, you are one of our longtime listeners, and man, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for sticking with us and for the whiskey.
Yes, and Chuck, there's another one that, thank you, Greg. There's another one we missed last time too. Lucas and the rest of the crew from Penelope, which is a charming restaurant at Lexington and 30th in Manhattan. They sent us a wonderful care package of stuff from Penelope. So thank you, guys, finally at long last for that.
That's right. And speaking of whiskey, might as well go ahead and shout out our buddies from the Greatest Generation podcast, Adam Pranica and Ben Harrison. If you don't listen to that show, it's really good. If you're a Star Trek Next Generation fan, or even if you're not, that's the best thing going for you.
Yep.
And they sent us some, what was it? Woodhouse whiskey from Brooklyn?
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Oh, did you already dive into that?
Oh, it's long gone.
Okay.
Let's see. How about Tim Lazaroff sent us a bunch of Wegmans organic ketchup. Thanks a lot, Tim. He also griped on email that we hadn't thanked him. So, Tim, hold your horses.
Tessie's Old Oddities. They sent us toddler gifts and dog gifts, which we always appreciate.
Yeah.
Little bat costumes and dolls for bat conservation.
Yes.
It's very, very cute. I put it in my daughter's room, and she loved it.
Yes, thank you for that.
And Momo got a costume, right?
Yes, she did. She looks adorable in it, too. I need to post a picture of it, to tell you the truth.
Totally.
But I'm afraid that somebody will kidnap her.
Well, yeah, then don't do that.
Right. So I have a correction also from last time. We thanked Matt Drager for sending us homebrew beer, but we hadn't tried it yet. Remember, it turned out to be Kahlua. He made homemade Kahlua.
What?
Yeah. Don't you remember? It's amazing.
I don't remember that. I don't know if I had that.
Oh, it's good. It's in that green bottle that Jonathan Strickland's face is on.
Sarah Lopez, big thanks. She sent from Scandalous Scarves, sent scarves for our wives after we made fun of infinity scarves on our live show. Right?
Yeah, with somebody wearing an infinity scarf right there.
Well.
It was uncomfortable. Thanks a million to Christina, who gave us freestyle embroidered sampler portraits of us at the Chicago show. You remember?
Yes.
They were amazing.
Shot Tower Gin. We love our gifts of spirits.
Oh, yes.
So Shot Tower Gin, I cannot remember the person, and I feel terrible about that, but big shout out to Shot Tower Gin.
Yeah. Do write in and let us know so we can thank you a second time. Thanks to Robin at Mother Dirt for sending us all the great skincare stuff. Is much appreciated and well received.
Thank to Ben, and I could not read the spelling. It's either Clerk or Clelk. He sent us a very cool and solvable, very key for a maze, a stuff you should know maze. And I've never tried to design a maze, so it was pretty neat seeing that.
Yep. Let's see. Cody Deet sent us a copy of his book Spheria, and also while I'm on it, John M. Hamilton sent us a copy of his book A Hell Called Ohio. He thought I would appreciate that in particular.
Argentina Coy invited us to her wedding to Dustin Nottage. So we could not come, but we always appreciate wedding invites.
Yes. Daria from Happy Socks in Sweden. I had no idea that Happy Socks was out of Sweden, but she sent us a bunch of Happy Socks, appropriately enough, and they're awesome.
Yeah, you love your Happy Socks.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Jack Ramsey sent us his graphic novel called Skit City, and this thing is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Look up Skit City online, SKIT City, and it's really, really great.
Yep, and Brigitte for the cutout drawing of me with my Lovecraft book. I love that.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
Who else do we have here? Now, I thought it would be Rebecca, but I swear it was an N, so I'm going with Renica Morshell. Sent us her young adult time travel novel, The Mender.
Nice.
Mender. Check that out.
Yep. And you want to save the rest for the next episode?
Yeah, we're going to continue this with a part 2. How about that?
All right, let's do it. So in the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, you can tweet to us at SYSK Podcast or Josh M. Clark. You can hang out with us on Facebook at Charles W. Chuck Bryant or Stuff You Should Know. You can send us an email to stuffpodcast at howstuffworks.com. And as always, hang out with us at our home on the web, stuffyoushouldknow.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com.
You know, you could be adored by everyone and still completely ignored by your cat. Trust me, I know. But if you feed your cat Sheba, you can go from being ignored to truly adored in 12 days, guaranteed, or your money back. Sheba has a full menu of products, appetizers, entrees, treats, even a kitten's menu. It's so cute, so Sheba has a product for even the pickiest eater. Like Sheba Puree, it's made with bone broth, they're chef-inspired flavors, it's got a smooth and creamy texture that cats love, and contains no corn, wheat, soy, or artificial flavors. It's food that your cat's gonna love. To learn more, check out Sheba.com. That's SHEBA.com.
Introducing the all-new Mazda CX-5, featuring more connection.
Hey Google, where's the nearest Pilates class?
Safety that has your back. More discovery on the scenic routes. More passion in the details. And more control in changing weather. The all-new Mazda CX-5. More to move every side of you. See it in 5 films at MazdaUSA.com/5sides.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC. Sequences shortened and simulated.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.